The Asia Society's Women's Leadership Program for New Asia was something that came out of conversations that I had with Vishaka and a couple of other people about 3 years ago. And we started what we hope will be a long-term initiative. And the idea was really to find a platform or forum for women leaders in Asia, women from different sectors, to come together and to share their experiences of what it meant to be a leader in both the factual terms of being a leader of their businesses or their enterprises, but also in a leader in a world that has been typically dominated by men. And we thought we'd provide an environment for them to share their experiences, to create their own networks, and to form alliances where they would help each other. You know, my meeting with Durreen is one of those wonderful examples of a chance encounter. We are both parts of the Asia Society's global leadership initiatives, I from the Women Leaders side and she from the Asia 21 Fellows Program. And it was at the Singapore conference of the Women Leaders initiative that we got together. Durreen's work was showcased there. And I had an opportunity to both hear her speak and hear about her project.
And that's the fantastic connection she and I made at this Asia Society gathering where, you know, I said, wow, you know, she does not have to do this. But that enormous you know, openness in terms of looking at things differently and saying, okay, how can we actually challenge the system and say, okay, can it be done any better? You know, can it be more inclusive? You know, can it be actually a way to bring in more sustainable growth and development, you know, globally? And of course, you know, for us, we're focusing in Asia. So of course, you know, we pulled, you know, Kalpana more to think about Asia.
And it just took off from there. It was the start of a wonderful journey, which is yet to be completed. It's reached some milestones. I think Durreen and I stayed in touch. I heard more about her work.
So my first company was back in '99, where I created a marketplace for ethical and handmade goods from around the world. It was called One Nest, and it was again. It's just, you know, I believed the fact that there had to be a marketplace that gave opportunity for millions of people who are actually working away and creating products to make this a better world, and they had an opportunity to sell these products in an ethical way. And at last, you know, I kept at it, and I did raise my funding. I raised $5 million. I grew the company, went through the ups and downs of having a company, and I sold it in 2004.
I heard more about her work. We met in San Francisco again. We did a road trip where we talked to investors, where it became quite clear to both of us that we weren't going to find the capital in Palo Alto or in the traditional fields where capital is accessible. And
I would say that was my first time I really felt what it meant to be a woman in a man's world. Because, and you'll say, well, you worked in Wall Street, didn't you feel that? Yes, but I think not to this extent. I think it's very different when you're going out there with an idea and your passion and asking someone to put money on you. And I realized that it was very much a man's world.
And I kept following her work. And I was very lucky that she brought me on as an advisor, so I got a close look at what she was doing.
And say, we are creating social capital markets, and what we will do is really create the pinnacle of it, which is create a stock exchange for these companies, you know, which are in the space called social enterprises. They want, if they're raising capital, let's bring them and let's bring the investors together along with all the other ecosystem players. The world is ready for it, and we have seen that. We have seen incredible support from individuals and organizations, and that gave birth and the enormous growth to Impact Investment Exchange, to IIX.
And it just reinforced my belief that projects are important, but the people who are behind the projects are just as important. And if you can get someone like Durreen with her passion and her commitment, the project is more than likely to succeed, which is why I eventually did become an investor with Shujog and Investment Impact, and that part of the journey is yet to unfold.